This bob, if it was foiled, we could foil through this parting really easily. You'd get even distribution. Bob's your uncle. The client will be happy anywhere she goes. But with balayage, because you're working on the natural fall of the hair and from the partings, this could be your strongest side. Let's put that there. So this could be your strongest piece because that's where you've painted. But what happens to this piece when she goes like that? And what happens if she wants to change her parting and go like this and then it's really dark? Now, this can be a problem, yeah? So we're going to address that. And then somebody just said it's great to see a fringe. Well, this fringe took me forever to put in, but fringes too. What do you do with a fringe? There is nothing, I think, odder than seeing all this lightness here and then a dark fringe. I don't think it's particularly soft. So micro balayage comes in again for that, because what we want to do, pardon me, is not necessarily have it as strong as here, but we certainly need some light pieces in here. So I'm going to start off by actually showing you how I do these baby light micro balayages, and then what we're going to do is we're going to work around the parting and the hairline, around this area rather, and then we're also going to work on the fringe to showcase that to you. So I'm not creating a look tonight for anyone, I'm just kind of showing you how it can work for you, and there are a couple of ways to approach it as well, which are really interesting. One is super soft, and it's individuals, and the other one looks a little bit more like a highlight actually, and you can sort of paint 3 or 4 at a time. So, not going too far. My product's already mixed for me, so here we go. You know the drill. I like it like a cream cheese or an icing that goes on cake. And I'm going to just simply section off. Now, don't laugh at my haircut, okay? It's I did it straight after the gym, and my legs and my arms were shaking from my workout. And I was like, okay, let's have a go. So I did it, I rough cut the whole thing, which was kind of fun. Always fun to take you out of your comfort zone. So I'm going to section just from the crown to the ear. Let's cut that fringe out there, a bit more of it. I went quite deep with the fringe. There. So pop that out, and we'll do the same on the other side. If it's not white, it won't be bright. That's a good one, actually. If it's not white, it won't be light. You know how that all goes, guys. You do it, and then you think, oh, where's it all gone? It's probably because we haven't put enough product on it. So if you watch enough of these videos, you're probably saying this in your sleep. I know that I certainly sometimes mutter, if it's not light, it won't be white, much to the amusement of many. The fringe we're going to address later. Now, it doesn't matter with a fringe whether it's a short fringe, a long fringe, or even if it sort of splits and sort of goes sideways. We can play around with that. So we'll address that a little bit later on. And let's just take out a really simple section here. Let's have a look at this. I think I want to do more than a few rows. Now, there is a blonde model that I used to look after a lot. Her name's Dominica. And she was an ASOS model as well. So ASOS being the website where you can shop for clothes. And she was the #1 clicked on model. She had a bob, and I just used to do a full head of micro balayage on her. 1, it's quicker than foil, but 2, it was just softer, and it was so pretty. So this is a really good salon technique. Got my board, obviously. Now the trick here is that you don't want to load your brush up with tons and tons of product. And I know I say that every week, every class. I say it in my sleep, but what we want to do is I'm going to show you how much you put on. Quickly want to say that if you've got any questions that I can't answer, pop them in the question box at the bottom of the screen. I'll get to those at the end. And of course, anybody that's part of this community, if you can answer the question, go ahead and answer it for me, yeah? Be absolutely amazing. Thank you. We're using Schwarzkopf Professional Clay, which is my go-to product. Putting on my gloves here today as well. No, this can work. There's a good question here. Wow. Does it only work on bobs? Absolutely not. It can work on long hair. It's great on converting a foil highlight to a balayage. It's perfect for that. I did one last Saturday in the salon. I did highs and lows through there. It's super, super pretty, and it just softened the whole look up. So you can really play with this one. It's not limited to a bob, it's not limited to a fringe, and it's not limited to the hair flicker who drives us crazy. Right. So I'm going to put a bit of product on my board, but I'm not going to overwhelm the board. And I'm going to use my regular sized Denman brush here. What's that there? A cat hair, I think. And we're going to go in, and I'm going to do the first one for you. So I know that's not a straight line, guys. So you're still going to go under and take a little bit of a dip, right? And we're going to do a small one first of all. So we're going to take about that much product, and we're going to go back and pick a bit more up. Do the same again. Bring the board in. There. That's the size of it. Now, it can be bigger. You know that I always talk about the different sizes. What's going on there? Oh, nothing. So it can be bigger, it can be wider. Let's do another one for you. You like that? Super delicate. Now, you might think that this is an okay size. So again, I've still scooped underneath. It's a little bit more defined. That much product. Bit more. That's it. There. There's another one. Still super soft. Let's do another one without me dropping it. Bit more product. Again, we're just going to go under and take that. Still, not too much product. You just slowly paint up. Look at the angle of the brush. And then you can still saturate those ends because you still want that little bit of pop on there. There's another one. How delicate they are. Do another row here, and then we'll play around with it. So the studio, as you can see, the walls look a little bit bare. So I've got a piece of furniture arriving for up there next week to make it look a little bit more like home. So it's no longer, as you know, it's no longer in the house, but I still want to make it look nice. And I'm going to have like a mini bookshelf and a few things on that. So keep you interested when you get bored of me talking. Again, there we go. So you can still see the scoop. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the way in which I paint, this scoop allows you to have more hair at the bottom, and which when you saturate that, you get more pop. Now, it doesn't matter how narrow or how thick the piece, you still want to scoop it. If you take a slice, you get bleed marks and oversaturation. So let's go again. See? Keep that brush as clean as you can. If your brush gets a bit messy, like mine does sometimes, have a wet cloth, or have a few extra brushes that you can just swap in. There, look at that one. I'm starting to get my groove in. There, see how that is? Now there's another thing I want you to take account of here, and that is, as we work around to this side, which is towards the face, in that section, the point of the section nearest the ear is lighter and the other side is darker. Yeah, so think about your negative space as well, really important. So you want the pop towards the face and the depth behind it. Let's do another one. Let's just kind of see if you get the swing of it. Has anyone tried this in the salon? Yeah? Let's see what's all going on. I haven't got my iPad with me tonight, so I have to say, oh, gosh. Loads of people. Hi, everyone. So tiny. Yeah. Now, you know I love a big paint. I love a big paint, and it's so quick to do in the salon. Once you get the hang of these are really quick as well. You know I don't want to do anything that takes me too long. I just don't like it. This is fantastic to use. So big paints have their place, so do minuscule, tiny micro paints too. Right, let's do another one. So I'm still going to scoop in underneath so you can see that through there. And we're literally, I'm going to come in a bit better for you. It's really in the detail on this one. Is that good? So again, the brush is at a side angle. That's it. There. Another one. See, they are tiny. Make them as tiny or as not as tiny as you want to, but these are great for bobs, fringes, hair flickers. Let's do another one. There. Again, not too much product on the brush. Come through. These are also great for partings, just generally on a parting. You've done, a classic balayage, which gives you that classic highlighted look, and you've got a parting through there. I'll pop a few through to give you some flexibility in there as well. So that's the first row. So you can see we've gone from super, super fine, a little bit more regular sizes. Let's just pop a couple in there as well. And if this annoys you, remember, just push your clip up like that, simple as that, and it just takes all that hair away. Oh, right. Again. Okay, good question there. I can see that one. If a client needs her roots doing first, root coverage and balayage can be worked together. It depends on how many pieces you're doing. If you're only doing a few pieces, then it's fine, because you've got to respect the process time of the tint or the global colour. So I could do a tint in 10-15 minutes, paint some pieces on in another 10-15 minutes, maybe that's 25. We've got 10-15 minutes to process. If it's all over colour and she wants lots of balayage, I'm going to do the roots first and I'm going to paint afterwards. It's just as simple as booking it in how you need it. And let's do another one here. Let's go in. Okay, there we are. And again, if you see something you don't like, just wipe it off. There's no point ignoring it. It's not going to go away. There, another row. Now, I can do this really quickly in the salon. There you go. Great. So let's do another row, but let's change our approach slightly to it. Okay, so let's take another section. Okay, this is good. Feels right to me, ish. Okay, there. Now let's look at this slightly differently about how we would approach it. Again, load your board up. Let me see if I can bring this back towards you. I think I can, like that. Now, nape areas, obviously, you would approach that slightly differently. You can just paint little ones on if you want. Today, I'm not trying to create a look. For those of you who have just joined me, I'm just demonstrating how tiny these are and how they work so well in the salon for converting foils, for fringes, for bobs, for full heads, for hair flickers, for where their parting is. Just a great little one to be able to do, okay? Now, here, let's bring her, oh, that's better. That's better. Sectioning pattern for this, I do more straight lines going around the curve of the head, simply because I need to pack more in. Now, Good question. Keep the questions coming. So, first one. One. Two. Three. Just hit that to the root a bit. Remember, if it's not white, it won't be light. Join it up. There. You've got four. Yeah, whew, worried about that. So what you'll get in here is you'll get the depth, which you need to give you the pop, and then the brightness at the end, okay, which is really important. So normally with a foil, you'll get bright, 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 and then it all merges into one, and it sort of looks like a tint, whereas this will keep the definition in there. Now, the next time you come to do this, this is the great thing. You can actually see where those marks are, where those lines are, and you can repeat it. So you can just touch up the root area and Bob's your uncle. So it's a really nice one. Let's do another section like that for you, because this one's a nice, quick way to approach. Right, here we go. I think I just need to change that slightly. Yeah. And then I'm just going to pop this up. So let's take this section here. Yeah, this is good. Nope. In. Great. So we're going to repeat. So again, don't get too much product on the brush. 1. 2. 3. 4. Let's see if we can just get this corner. 4. Nice. And again, first time round, saturate these ends so that you get more pop. And look how much I've covered really quickly. They're going to lift. Yes, so so you're going to lift and then saturate. Now on the repeat, you're not going to saturate, you're just going to pick up the dark areas and just paint them. Let's do one more. Now I've got some really exciting stuff because next week, as you know, I've been filming loads of content at the moment. Due to lockdown, we can't work all the days we want to, so on the days I'm not working, I'm filming. And I've got one of these on a live model, which I can't wait to show you. So that'll be you'll see that in the next few weeks, I hope. Let's pop this out the way. Here we go. If you're just doing more areas, would you saturate it in and if the client finds the ends bright enough, don't saturate the ends. I've got lots of conversation on my page next week about that. I've been writing some of the posts already, so you'll be able to see that. But yeah, if it's light already, there's no need to paint over it. And as for the rose additive to the clay, yes, you can. I don't add the additives to it. I prefer to glaze, but not to worry. I'm gonna get a clean brush and we're gonna do this one. Okay, and here we go. I think we can fit 3 in here. So we'll do 1 here. A bit more product towards the root so we get that lift. A bit more product here. It's beautiful. And then some product in the middle. Now, there we go again. So you can literally do rows, and hey Mexico, you can do rows and rows and rows of those, and you'll get all the brightness you want in the softness of the light at the root with the negative space and the pop at the end. Brilliant. And glazing is the same as toning, which is the same as glossing. Great question there. Okay, now let's talk about crowns. You know, this area through here can look great when we blow dry it. Not maybe when I don't blow dry it, but when you blow dry it, it looks fantastic. When I blow dry it, it looks worse. But you know when you've got a crown that splits and goes everywhere, sometimes it's really nice if we go into the root to pop a few of these microlights in at the root area. Working with the natural fall of the hair and the natural parting and making sure that you pop those in can make the difference between it looking dark to a client when she looks in the mirror at home or whether it looks bright to her at home as well as you. Okay. I'm going to, let's have a look at what this looks like first of all. This crown area. So we haven't really got a lot of a split because it's a doll head. But I will remember to do this for you next week. On Wednesday I'm filming that. So we've got a little bit of movement here. We've got a bit of movement here, a bit there. It's not a lot. It's a doll head, as you know, but let's put some fine ones in through here, some delicate pieces through here, and that will still give you a little bit of brightness there. Pop a bit more product on my board, as you can see. So let's start off here. Let's turn her around for you. There's the first one. See? Not everything has to be big and brash with painting. Who inspires me? Oh my goodness, I get inspired. That's a really good question. I get inspired all day long. Once I get on Instagram, I'm just like, oh my goodness, how do they do that? How's that done? How's the other done? So my community inspires me. And then also my clients inspire me when they come in and they want something. I'm like, how do I do that? I have to think about it. I find that inspiring. I've got some friends, some Instagram friends who I find inspiring. I think it's everywhere. So you can't hear my voice. Can anyone else not hear me? Oh my goodness. Can everyone hear me? Quick tick. Quick something on there. Yeah, you can hear me. Ooh. Yeah, great. Good. I think we all inspire each other. I think that is the amazing thing about hairdressing. We all inspire each other, which is brilliant, you know. Young people in the industry, I've got an assistant who inspires me with his motivation and all that stuff. And then I've got, you know, people who have been around as long as me who inspire me too. So it's all around us. Here goes another one. Now this one, let me bring this down without it dropping off. Here. So we're going to do this at the crown. Let me drop that for you. It's cool. Nice. Make sure it's light. There's one. So you can see what they look like. You can imagine it's just like some super soft highlights, which is what it should be like. I'm going to pick this one up here. And I'm going to show you something. So paint. Paint, paint, paint. There. See? And we'll just do a few more around here for you all. Oh, good. I'm glad you can hear me. That had me worried for a minute, especially as my Wi-Fi said it was a poor connection. I was like, what? And then up and paint to the root. Paint to the root. There. Nice. So you can transition out with this. You can transition out from this technique. You can do a transition as a tinted client who wants to go into lights. Remember though, that you're not always going to get the lift you want on that tinted hair with a freehand technique. So you might want to do that first time with foils and then go into balayage afterwards. It's also great for your foil conversions. So your heavy foils that want to go into this. This is really good. Who wants to go into a balayage look? I am taking my time today. Jackie's slow. Let's do one more. Here we go. Slightly bigger. And they don't have to be all the same size as you're working through. That just looks matchy, and you know I don't like that. So we can sort of play around with different sizes and do different things. But there, really quickly to work through these. Now you can pop more in or less in depending on what you're doing. It is relatively easy as well. So this is a good thing. Now, let's come to... Oh, I'm struggling. There. Brilliant. Now, let's have a look at the parting, first of all. In fact, before we do the parting, let's separate that fringe out so I get a clear idea of my fringe. So, there. All looked so neat when I did it this morning. Let's start here. That piece doesn't belong. Let's pop that out the way. Clip. And let's do this. Okay. Now, that's the fringe too. This is the traditional side of, say, somebody's parting. So we're obviously going to paint around here, but you also will want some flexibility. And the flexibility is putting some micros in through that top area to help you out. This is how I would do it. Oh, moving all over the place today. Wipe my brush. Get my product. Here we go. Good. So the first one, you can't see that though, can you? There, that's better. So imagine this is the parting line. That's the first one in the parting. Let me show you. Maybe I'll come on this side, it might be easier. Yeah, I think it will be. And this is the other side of it. There, a bit too much product there. Take it off. So we want to put two more in there. So you can see that I've built that shape. You can do it any way you want. Here we go. Other one. So it's just about not putting too much on your brush because you'll end up putting that everywhere else. So it's back to the board quite a bit more often to get those pieces in. That's another one, and let's put another one here. Remember, still scoop out the underneath. There. Perfect. Now, that's one side done. Obviously, we'd want to paint this side. But what I want to do is I would move away slightly and I would take a section like so. Now I wouldn't do this necessarily all the way through for a hair flicker, But what I want to do is I want to create a few more in here so that we get some flexibility. So looking at the haircut, which is always the most important, we can see that that's the center part in there. So we're going to do, I'm going to do it from this way. Cool. I'm going to start here. A bit difficult for you to see, so I'm going to move it around this way and move her this way. Cool. And here, I'm going to take this. So normally we would talk about leaving negative space in there because that's what gives you the pop. But for a hair flicker, what she wants to see is she doesn't want to see loads of negative space. So just pop a few more of these micros in there and it'll just help you. It'll help her too. The trick with this, of course, is to always tell the client that you can give her a little bit more flexibility, but the best side is going to be the side that it naturally falls on. Because it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be super generic like a classic foil is. It's going to have pieces where it looks better, where it's brighter, so you've got to play around with it. Let's do enough. This is there. So here, this is the center part. We're going to quickly, hope you catch this, we're going to do this. Oh, doesn't want to move. I've taken the whole section. And I've painted 3 micros on there. Like so. Yep. And then I'm going to do this. So they're there. I'm going to take it this side and do the same. Lightly skim over it. Give me 2 secs and I'm going to show you. Pop a piece of cotton underneath it, which I forgot to put out. So this piece has lightness this side, it's hard to see it, and then it has lightness this side. So it's both sides. So let's just run over this and make sure it's a little bit stronger. Yeah. That should be better. So you can see there, we've got both sides and then just saturate the end. Now that's going to give you a bit more flexibility. And just pop a piece of cotton underneath that. And then on this side, drop a little space out. And then this side, exactly the same. So this is the center. She's coming off. This is the center. What I want to do is I want to paint on the center and then I want to paint the other side so that it matches my parting. So let's do it this way and then you get to see. So you're basically taking a piece and you're painting both sides, but gently. There. See? Paint. Oh. Neighborhood dog going crazy. Nice. So that's what that looks like. And then I'm just going to bring that down this way. There. Just paint that a bit more. And then repeat it this side. Making sure you've got enough product on. There. Bring this in to show you. There. So you've painted both sides, okay? And that means you'll just get a little bit more flexibility, but remember that it's not a super fine section because we still want some depth in there and we don't want to do a slice. And then finally, seems a bit messy, but it's not. You just need to think about where you can't see. Oh. You just need to think about where you're actually going to part the hair. So where the client is going to part the hair. And then finally, here, we're just going to paint a couple here. So micro all the way through. It's good. Now, that's going to give us much more flexibility in here, where the client's going to part this side and in the center, and if it was the same this side, you'd pop a little bit more in there, but you get the drift of that. When that moves around, she'll be light through that top area. Now, let's talk about fringes. Oh God, it's 40 minutes into this. I can't believe it. I don't know where time goes. I don't know where time goes. So I could spend all day with you guys. Thank you. Now, fringes. We love fringes, yeah? Let's bring her in a bit. We love fringes. Now, we don't need to saturate and overkill the fringe and make it a statement fringe. But what we do want to do is we want to create some glimmers of lightness in there. My lighting's changed. Oh well, not to worry. Can everyone see? Yes. So again, we're just going to wipe my brush off for this detail work. Nice. I'm going to put a little bit of product on there. Again, you don't need to put loads on. Okay, not going mad. And again, we just don't want the fringe to be super dark against some lighter pieces, but neither do we want to overwhelm the fringe. No, sorry. I'm going to go this side. Make sure you can see. Here's another one. I think this is lovely in fringes. And if the fringe parts to one side, just think about that and think about where your placement would be. So your placement is always dictated by your haircut, as we know. Oh, and here's another. Let me just put this one in and then I can show you. There. See? And there you go. So let's put another few in. We've got time, I don't have to go yet. Good. So again, pop the fringe down. That feels nice to me. Just clip that out the way for yourself. And again, we go in. Oh, clips in the way there. One. Two. You want to pop enough product on there that it will lift up. If you don't have enough product on it, it's going to not be light. And it's about touching the section, but not ramming the product in there. So you've got to be sort of gentle. but not so gentle that you scrape it off. You've got to keep putting more product on. There. And we've still got another section. Hey John, how are you? I called myself Jackie a minute ago. There you go. And again, so what you want from the fringe is you want to create balance and softness in there. Let's put a few more in. Let's take that out of the way because that's annoying me. Remember, if it's not white, it won't be light. And remember, less is more. There you go. And then one more just here. There. Now it looks like there's a split there, but you're okay. And then the last piece, just let that in. Oh. And we're just going to put a couple just here. So figure out where the haircut's going and then paint. I'm going to do this one here too. Nice. There. And then you would take a look overall and just see how it feels to make sure that everything seems good. Now obviously we've not done a full head in there. This side is your heavier side, which is going to give you flexibility when you move it. This is going to lighten up your fringe area for you. And then if you take 3 pieces at once and saturate those ends, you're going to get more pop at the bottom. So it's just about